In the first 3 episodes of Gen V, the highly anticipated The Boys spin-off, we were introduced to Goode University and the students studying there to become one of the 7. Through the eyes of Marie Moreau, we saw the various cliques in her batch who were doing their own thing to rise through the ranks and get better sponsorship deals. But the death of Golden Boy uncovered a massive controversy brewing underneath the college's premises in a place called the Woods. Marie, Andre, Emma, Kate, and Jordan found out that Luke's brother was being held captive in the aforementioned correctional facility. Unable to bear the pressure of cheating on Luke, Andre took a drastic step by sending Emma on a reconnaissance mission to see if Sam was really in the woods. When Emma saw Sam being tortured by one of the guards, she used her shrinking powers to drill through his head, thereby putting her and Sam in a world of trouble. Gen V Episode 4 opens through the deceased guard's ear canal, which is being examined by Dr. Edison Cardosa, while Indira looks at the bloodbath caused by Sam on his way out of the woods. Andre, Marie, Kate, and Jordan find the chip that was on Emma. There's a massive crater there, too, which indicates that Sam leaped all the way to that spot, and then Emma discarded the tracker so that no one can know where they've gone, not even Andre, even though he is the one who gave her that task. Andre, Marie, Kate, and Jordan have a little argument about rankings and Andre's not-so-genius idea before going back to their respective rooms. As for Sam and Emma, they seem to be hiding in an abandoned drive-in movie theater because that's where Sam and Luke used to spend their time before everything went sideways. Emma asks if Sam has access to a phone so that she can call for help, and Sam says that he only trusts Luke to help them out. That's when Emma reveals that Sam is actually dead, thereby causing Sam to freak out. The scene shifts back to Goode, where superhero media personality Tech Knight has been called upon to examine what's going on there. When he goes to meet Indira, we see him display his powers, which basically boils down to that thing that Tim Roth did in Lie to Me, where he minutely monitors a person's physical reactions to judge if they're lying or telling the truth. That doesn't faze Indira, and she asks him what exactly he is doing there. Tech Knight says that he's basically searching for a good fall guy, and he's going to pin the blame on them for Golden Boy's death. Knight makes a Johnny Depp joke, and I think he means to say that he's going to use popularity to sway public opinion in his direction and away from the real victim. He also says that he's going to need every single detail associated with Golden Boy for his investigation, and then heads out of Indira's office. Andre tells Kate that Polarity knows about the woods, and he has been pretending to be an ideal superhero all this time, even though he isn't one. Marie goes to Rufus, the psychic who was convinced to beat himself with a bat by Kate, in the hopes of knowing something about Emma. Under the guise of helping her, Rufus causes Marie to black out and takes her to his room. When Marie wakes up, she hears Jordan knocking at the door while Rufus exposes himself in front of her. Marie understandably freaks out and causes the blood in his reproductive organ to expand, thereby exploding it. Jordan bursts in and takes Marie out of there, while showing no remorse for Rufus because he doesn't deserve empathy. In fact, he should be in jail with some kind of a dampener on his head so that he can't keep doing this. Before going their separate ways, Jordan warns Marie that Tech Knight is investigating Luke's death, and Marie needs to be extremely careful, or else she's going to end up somewhere that's worse than prison. Tech Knight sits down to interview Polarity, Andre, Jordan, and Kate, but it's not exactly an interview, it's an interrogation because he wants to blame one of them for Luke's death. He manages to crack Andre by bringing up his relationship with Kate. He causes Kate to act up by mentioning how she failed to see Luke's suicidal behavior despite aspiring to be his manager. He doesn't quite get to Jordan, but he does try to get them angry about Brink's death. Back at the theater, Sam and Emma bond over their personal traumas, which is kind of like that trauma-dumping scene from Deadpool where Wade meets Vanessa for the first time. The two almost get romantic with each other, but Sam gets anxious and walks away from her. As Sam begins to talk to characters that don't exist in real life to quell his emotions, it becomes evident that Sam suffers from the same kind of schizophrenia that Black Noir used to suffer from, conversing with fictional characters appropriate for children who tell him to do inappropriate stuff. During one of her classes, Indira asks Marie about Emma, and Marie straight up lies because she actually doesn't know where Emma is. To make matters worse, Indira brings Tech Knight into the class because they are simply desperate to find a scapegoat. Yes, I don't think they really care about Luke's death or Sam's disappearance. They just want to create a headline that'll absolve the university of its sins. It's fitting that all this is happening in a class about superhero branding. Knight picks out Marie to display his skills, and because she is the only suspect, he hasn't interrogated her yet. It's weird that he arranges somewhat private interrogations for Andrew, Jordan, and Kate. However, in Marie's case, he decides to blast her in front of her classmates. He starts to pick on Marie's lack of marketability and her insecurities, and he pokes her regarding her secrets. Marie figures out that trying to obfuscate the truth is not going to help her. So, she blurts out the truth and finally credits Jordan for saving her from Golden Boy. Tech Knight turns it into a display of his ability to break a witness and gets all the applause from the class. Indira tells Tech Knight to stay away from the top 5 of the university because if another one of them does what Golden Boy did due to Knight's grilling, things are going to get messier than they are already. Knight says that he's going to make Indira the fall guy because Sam has escaped on her watch, and if she accepts her fault, it is possible that Vought will forgive her. Talking about Sam, he seems to be seeing a Sesame Street-like show made by Vought, which features a puppet of the deep as well as Jason Ritter, the actor, and that too in the flesh. They convince Sam to go after Dr. Cardosa because he's the one who has experimented on him. Emma tries to calm Sam down, but his situation gets worse and worse, and he runs away in Cardosa's general direction. A frustrated Andre crushes Polarity's statue and then publicly hugs Kate because, I guess, they don't really care what others think about their relationship anymore. Jordan blasts Marie for putting too much of the spotlight on them instead of taking some of the credit for confronting Golden Boy. Jordan tries to figure out why Marie is doing what she is doing because they suspect that Marie has some kind of ulterior motive. But the truth of the matter is that Marie acts on instinct. She isn't cunning or a schemer. She tries to do the right thing while also getting swayed by her lust for fame. She is human. Jordan realizes that, and they get really intimate with Marie. Sadly, this moment is interrupted by Emma, who informs Marie that they've to stop Sam from hurting Cardosa. Jordan says that they know where Cardosa lives and can get to him before Sam does anything drastic. Elsewhere, Indira corners Tech Knight and tells him that she's aware of his rather disgusting habit of putting his Johnson in anything that has a hole in it, and she has videographic evidence of it. If she makes it public, Tech Knight's life is over. So, she tells him to get the hell out of Godalkin or face the consequences of being a pervert. Knight has no option but to leave. During episode 4 ending, Cardosa returns home only to find out that Sam is holding his husband and their daughter hostage. And just when Sam is about to turn all of them into a bag of meat and bones, the Junior Soups shows up to save the day. All of them try their best to subdue Sam, but he proves to be way too powerful. Ultimately, Emma grows big instead of going small and uses all of her power to pin Sam to the ground. As Marie promises that they are going to protect Sam, the episode abruptly cuts to black. A few seconds later, we see Jordan and Marie lying together, naked. That's followed by Tech Knight violating a hand dryer in Godalkin. Yes, it's purposefully vague so that we stay on the edge of our seats until the next episode of Gen V arrives. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and I hope you enjoyed episode 4 of Gen V,